being doing movies with Jet Li.
He used to rob people with the dog.
Yeah, X was crazy. His dog, when he's a dog lover.
Right.
He loved his dog. He loved all of it. He had a dog, Boomer.
Yeah.
It was dangerous. You ever see him with Boomer? You know,
It's going down.
Robbing everything with his dog. Not armed robbery.
Just all right.
Dog robbery.
There it is. This has been up close and personal conversation with Jadakiss, and I always end it with this. I know what the word I would use to describe you, but I was saying when you describe Jadakiss in one word, legacy, all of that stuff, what would that word be?
Authentic.
Authentic. Y'all hear it. Man, we can't wait for the new Jadakiss album. I know you cooking up.
Ignatius, check it out.
It's going all the way in.
What's that? What could that be? Power rankings. Biggest risers and fallers this week as we tackle the Western Conference. Into it. Next. More. After a gorgeous night, the Washington Monument here in the District of Columbia. Now the weekend. Great athlete and we have a second.
Sitting here with my brother, somebody I truly look up to, somebody who's truly authentic, the one and only Jadakiss, Nick Cannon Mornings. So let's go.
I support what y'all doing.
It was self-defense.
Why is he under arrest? Thank you for this journey. No matter how it ends.
Queen and Slim, rated R.
Okay, so you dropped this album, the second album. It does great.
Crazy.
And then the album with Bow Wow came afterwards?
Yep.
Okay, why did you guys decide to do a joint album?
Well, we were truly inspired by Jay and Kells at the time because, you know, I'd never seen that. I never seen, like, you know, someone, you know, of you know, their artistic capability and just, like, where they were at in the game, you know, come together and make, like, something memorable. So we were definitely inspired by Jay, you know what I mean, at that time to put that together. That's really what the whole concept and idea was.
Why you
Okay,
got
so
the
it's like a
pink?
best of both worlds, like a younger version, basically.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
Okay, and how did that album do?
I believe that album went gold. Yeah, that album went gold. Yeah, that album went gold. Yeah, this is like on after this album, we're on the brink of, like, you know, the music industry changing soon. The game is about to change. After that album, the game changed.
Cut that shot.
Right, because that's when, CDs were kind of
Yeah.
really on their way out. Streaming really wasn't a thing yet.
No, it was not.
It was like people were still kind of either legally downloading music or buying CDs, which was declining, and the mom and pop stores were going out of business.
Yep. And also at that time, there were a lot of, like, you know, this is now 100 edition. You know, there were a lot of sales from, you know, the compiling of, I guess, like, a lot of hits during that time. So yeah, it's a different time.
Right, because it seemed after that, you just started kind of bouncing around. Is that a fair assessment?
I think I would ask you to elaborate or be
Sure.
more specific.
Well, it seemed like after that, you were affiliated with Young Money,
Oh, okay.
with Lil Wayne.
Oh,
That
okay.
never really materialized.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And there was sort of an era where you're not dropping
Right.
projects, you're kind of
Okay.
bouncing around.
Okay. If that's what we can call it that.
You see what I'm saying? And there was sort of an era where you're not dropping.
Um, this is now 100 edition. There were a lot of sales from, the compiling of, I guess, like a lot of the hits during that time. So yeah, it's a different time.
Right, because it seemed after that, you just started kind of bouncing around. Is that a fair assessment?
I think I would ask you to elaborate or be
Sure.
more specific.
Well, it seemed like after that, you were affiliated with Young Money,
Oh, okay.
with Lil Wayne.
Oh,
That
okay.
never really materialized.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And there was sort of an era where you're not dropping
Right.
projects, you're kind of bouncing around.
Okay. If that's what we can call it that.
We can call it that. So how did you, did you end up signing to Young Money?
Yeah, I did. I actually did sign the contract.
Okay,
Yeah.
and what happened with that?
Well, basically, at the time, I was making a transition in between labels because, as you know, I've been under the Sony umbrella via Epic, via Columbia. I've been under the Sony umbrella for a long time, and during that transition, one of the biggest supporters and I guess as they say cheerleaders, Donnie Iyer and Lisa Ellis, they no longer work for that company. So I was looking to strike a partnership deal with Capitol Records, and as you know, Capitol Records falls under Universal as well. Um, so um, yeah, I was looking to find, like a new home, so to speak. More in the partnership aspect of my business. So I signed a deal with Young Money, and it was an exciting thing. It was a thing that we were moving forward. And basically, long story short, what happened was when I signed my deal, I was supposed to get my advance, and the lawyers were talking, and basically, upon signing, you're supposed to get your advance in a specific amount of days or time, and within that time, my check didn't come, and you know, um, that raised a lot of questions for me. What kind of business was being done. So when my check didn't come, I was like, I'm out. You know what I mean? So that's really what happened. But me and Wayne actually got into it about that. I'm not sure if you'll remember. We had like a back and forth conversation, me, him, and Mac May, and that's really all it was. I was just in a really interesting space as far as my creativity in business was going at that time. So yeah, that's the reason why. But the deal was signed. I was like, yo, wait a minute, what's good? Where's the check, fam? And it was like, oh well, Wayne needs to sign off on it. And I'm like, oh okay, we'll just call Wayne. Call Wayne. He's doing something. And it's like, what the fuck? No, fam, I can't do this. So that's what happened.
There's a big government scandal going on that you need to know about it. The government is actually stealing money from unsuspecting property owners. Let me explain. Every day, the government forecloses on 3,000 or more property owners because they've fallen behind on property taxes. This amounts to roughly $14 million in tax foreclosures every single day. Let me give you a specific example. Let's say someone doesn't pay taxes for 3 years, which amounts to roughly $22,000 in back taxes and penalties on a $200,000 property. The property goes to an auction and an investor steals it for $100,000. With me so far? The government uses $22,000 to pay off the taxes due, leaving an excess of $78,000. And here's the simple question that launched me into a new adventure and made me millions and millions of dollars over the years. What happens to all that extra money? The answer to that question, it might make your blood boil, but it also represents an amazing opportunity for you to make a lot of money while helping people who really need it. It's made me and many others millions upon millions of dollars. You want to know what happens to that extra money? The government is hoarding it, but it doesn't belong to them. And you can make huge finder's fees by recovering these funds for the former property owners. It's not difficult to do. You simply need to follow a hidden formula the government doesn't want you to know. And you don't need to be an attorney or have any special licenses to do it. In fact, you already have everything you need to get started with this, which is just an internet connection, your phone, and a laptop. Actually, you don't even need to leave your house. I live in the Caribbean on an island, and I do this business virtually, being remotely, all over the United States, which allows me to spend more time with my family and more time doing the things that I enjoy doing. And do you want to know how you can do it too? Well, I'll be covering this in detail on my upcoming free training so that I can show you how you can make huge finder's fees by connecting these excess funds the government is hoarding with their legal, rightful owners. Click on the button below and attend the free training, and I'll meet you over there.
You know what drives me absolutely crazy? People that have been conditioned since they were little kids to go to school and get good grades and go to college and put themselves into a massive amount of debt, only to find themselves begging for a corporate job afterwards, working for 20 to 30 years, working up their butts off to get up the corporate ladder, only to find themselves unprepared for retirement, dependent on their family or dependent on the government because they're just not financially prepared. And those same people, they've heard that more millionaires are made through real estate investing than any other industry out there, yet they don't do anything with that information because they think that you need deep pockets to flip houses or to invest in real estate. They think that you need a real estate license or construction knowledge, but that's just not the case. What if I was to tell you that 14 years ago, I discovered a way to flip a house without needing money, without needing a license, without needing any previous experience. And I can show you, I'm going to give you a free resource right now, absolutely free. So when you swipe up or click the link, all you have to do is read my book, How to Flip Houses with Little to No Money Down. I flipped over 1,000 houses without needing any of my own money. And when I figured this out, I was blown away that nobody taught me this. And I just dove deep, I educated myself, and I went crazy with it. And I went from being a broke bookkeeper to becoming a real estate millionaire by age 28, a multimillionaire by age 30. And I'm going to give you a free book, and I'm also going to give you a free training class that's going to show you how to implement the information in the book, so that way you don't find yourself like some of those people that procrastinate or hesitate or wait until it's already too late to get started. You can break free of the rat race, and it can happen right now. Within 30 days or less, you can be flipping a house. It's a process called wholesaling. I don't have time in this video to explain it all, but I have that free training video. It's going to break it all down. And when you see it, the light bulb's going to go off, and you're going to be like, oh my God, I cannot believe I have not been doing this. And it's a ton of fun, and you help people, and you make a great living in the process. So grab my book, How to Flip Houses with Little to No Money Down. Entrepreneur named it a must-read book in the financial space, and you're going to get that free training class. So click the link or swipe up, and I'll see you on the free training.
So then the group finally broke up. At that point, how was Raz B sort of a pivotal, reason for the group breaking up, or was it other reasons during that time?
No, I think that Well, first, let me say this. First of all, Fizz, Boog, and Raz were already in a group and already established some type of rapport and relationship together. Although we were all kids, they were comfortable, with each other. So, to answer your question, while the breakup was happening, because it was happening on tour, and we got into this big fight at the what is that venue at the Universal in the back? What is that called? What is that venue called? You remember that? What's that venue called? Universal Studios in the back. The amphitheater, yeah, but what is it? Is it Universal Amphitheater? Okay. Well, yeah, we got into this big fight at the amphitheater.
Well, when you say fight, was it like a fist fight? Like y'all had just had enough at that point?
Yeah, I mean, it was like right up into that point. It was like right up into the point to where we was about to be fist fighting, and people had to break us up, and we had to finish the show that night though. But I think that there was already from the jump kind of a type of separate a separatism going on. So I think that certain people kind of played on that. I wouldn't blame Raz B for the breakup. I wouldn't say that he predominantly had anything to do with that. I would really chalk it up to just like everyone really being confused and not really knowing too much about business and really just trying to. I mean, like the typical thing that happens when you feel like you've been taking advantage of in business. It's like, oh, you know what? I ain't fucking with y'all. You know what I mean? Or you know what? Oh, I found this out. Well, fuck you. You know what I mean? It was kind of more so that energy that separated us more than it was like, this person did that or this person did that. It was like, yo, shit is not going right. All right, cool, peace. You feel me? We out.
I would say friction amongst the group. I think, I know that our foundation was not solid. So it was already shaky. But as a kid, you don't understand that. So growing up, you start to see things that you may not want to be a part of or participate in or you don't like. So yeah, I mean that friction trickles down, and what that does, it starts friction amongst the group. Okay. And that brings divide, and that brings conquer.
Why did the group ultimately break up?
Just differences. We weren't seeing eye to eye.
So B2K breaks up.
Uh-huh.
And you just don't waste any time. Like you start your solo career like a year later.
Well, see, that was a part of the breakup. The part of the breakup was separating me from them too. You know what I'm saying? And at the time, I didn't really view it that way. I didn't see it that way because on tour, they were kind of preparing to do some things on their own, and I wasn't a part of that. So the management, was like, we taking over. And I'm like, what? What's good? What's going on? And then it became kind of like me versus them.
Okay. So you end up going solo.
Yes.
In 2005, I guess?
No, it was
2004?
Yeah. I want to say, I think O was out earlier than that, but I want to say like 2003.
Yeah, I think O.
I'll make you cut to the basketball.
Okay.
So that means
that was a long time ago.
Recording the album and
yeah.
putting it together.
I mean, we're skipping over a lot of little few things that happened because the boys, they went on the radio and I remember it was like a big boy interview or something like that. It was an interview and I was at the studio and they had some things to say about me that I was like, oh, this is whack, you know what I'm saying? And that kind of prompted me to, turn up the heat a little bit on my solo career.
The Granite Run 600 is back, and so are the best deals anywhere in the region. We're selling 600 vehicles between now and the end of this year, and we'll stop at nothing to get it done. That means the best deals possible, all supported by Granite Run's lowest price guarantee.
The haggling for cars is a nightmare, and I know that when I call Granite Run, I don't have to deal with that.
The Granite Run 600.
Lowest prices, largest inventory, and the best service in town. Thank you, Granite Run.
You are listening to a Magnus beat.
Pulling up, slapping with the hazards on. Slapping. Gold frame busting in them chains on. Exit my whip like the general. Exit. Ice game water with the minerals. Back in coming ASAP though. Paper bag got me feeling like a trap though. Ain't no waiting on that shit. Man, you gotta take it, bruh. They gon' watch a nigga start to salute you when you watch it. Yeah, talking my talk, make a play shake. Loading up the plate, then we have a dinner date. Loaded, hit a slim, go hard with them hog ties. And them niggas throwing salt, need some french fries. Nigga rolling out the bed on a money car. Rolling, if you know my number, that's the Powerball. Power, little partner got subs in the door panel. And he shaved them down, no door handles. Block a bandana like it's 9-6, 90s. On the black top, really in the mix. Gang switching up, need a quick fix. Changing, smoking on nerves, it's a me. Way too solid, baby, taking notes. Baseline, waking up the old folks. And I'm still slapping. My nigga shit still slapping. Smoking on morning like it's old dirt tray. Flipping that top, sipping.
I'm not responsible for that 20-ass music.
Well, you guys get your deal. You put together your first album. And the album ended up going to number 2.
Right.
The top 2. So out of all the albums that were out, you guys were the second biggest album of that time.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, you guys at this point are a phenomenon in terms of the reaction to people and people really messing with you guys. What was really kind of the experience of going through that? Because here you are, yeah, you had commercials and everything else like that, but now you're kind of really in the spotlight. You're really on a superstar kind of caliber, and you're generally considered the lead singer of the group. Would that be accurate?
Not generally.
Not generally?
Not generally speaking, I am the lead singer.
You are the lead singer, okay.
I don't know what that means.
I was trying to be diplomatic.
Okay.
But it is what it is, right? Yeah. You're the lead singer of the group. You're the face of this group. Number 2 album. Girls are going crazy. You're how old at the time when the album came out?
Like 16? 16
years old?
Yeah.
Living the life.
It's crazy.
What do you think was just the craziest experience of that era for you?
Well, to be completely honest with you, everything was going so fast for us. If I can say, it was just very exciting, and it was very natural and normal for us because, we strive, we trained, we spent a lot of time together really perfecting our act. So, man, we loved it. We received all of that love. I think that we truly made a connection, with our audience at that time. So, man, to answer your question, we were having a ball. We were tired. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could definitely remember there was moments when we were like sleeping in the airport, and the days we were like going together 2-3 days because we were working so hard. But it was exciting. It was exciting for me.
Well, you have your debut album, which does great.
Right.
And then you guys put out Pandemonium, which for me had like what I felt were your best songs.
Where that?
Like, Bump 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 became the biggest song for B2K.
Yes.
opinion.
Yeah. What's up?
And what's interesting is that both of those songs were produced by the same guy.
Yes.
And that is?
You know who it is.
R. Kelly.
Yeah.
How close were you guys working with R. Kelly?
Very close. Very closely. I remember we went to Chicago, and we went to his crib, and his daughters were really big fans of ours. So he was very much so involved. But the business relationship stemmed from Dave McPherson. So really, our interaction was just that, was more of the, entertainment aspect of it. So.
Right, because I was really thinking about this on the ride over here. R. Kelly was like almost the next generation of Prince in terms of his musical ability. Of not only being able to write hit songs for himself, but writing hit songs for everybody else who needed it. Like he had that much musical talent in him that he could give away hits to other people. Like,
yeah.
It was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Did you ever form a relationship with R. Kelly after that?
No, not really. No, not really. It's like a lot of the other relationships in entertainment. Unless you really develop a personal relationship with someone, then, it's business. So.
I feel you.
Yeah, it's business.
Come and take a trip in my rocket ship. We'll have a lovely afternoon. Kiss the world goodbye, and away we'll fly. A destination moon.
Outside wall.
So you get these commercials.
Yep.
And you continue to try to get your foot in the door.
Yep.
And then B2K starts to form.
Yes.
Now, what triggered that group exactly?
Well, at the time I was developing as an artist. I had Puffy probably doesn't remember this, but I used to be a rapper. I used to be a part of this rap crew called Wild Kingdom, and one of the founding members actually gave me my name, Omarion. So I was already developing myself to become an artist. I was like spending, studio time at the house. Like we had a DAT machine. I was recording. This is all like pre-B2K. I was, looking to establish myself as a solo artist. And basically how B2K came about was there was a New Year's Eve, and we were invited to this New Year's Eve party where the fellas, they were there, and they performed, and they asked me if I wanted to be in the group, so they performed, and then after that I danced and I performed, and that's kind of like how that happened. It was just like there used to be this house on Colfax, that all the groups would come through. I remember early B2K, we were performing for like Destiny Child and Black, and this house was like a lot of entertainers, Megan Good, 3LW, everybody used to come through to this house on Colfax.
Okay, so you guys form B2K.
Uh-huh.
And this is kind of off the heels of Immature?
Well, I don't know. I guess so. I guess that would I guess so. Yeah, because, there obviously was the group that, was popular at that time. So yeah, I guess I would say that, yeah.
Right, and Marcus Houston was kind of involved.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
When I say off the heels, it was sort of like kind of the next
yes,
kind of transition for, that crew in a way.
Yes.
So you guys get formed,
mm-hmm.
and then You signed your deal.
Yes.
How did it feel to sign that first record?
It was exciting. It was so exciting, and it was so rewarding because I remember we had went to a lot of other labels.
They're talking about World.
One particular
1917.
LA Reid. You know, like I remember he flew us to Atlanta, and it was like the first time we experienced the W, and the pillows,
1904 and 5, more efficient.
You know,
And he
we
been hacking.
really thought that we were going to get signed.
We're
And
playing
at
all
that time,
defense,
yeah,
more efficient. I'm all defense, more efficient. This nigga hack.
Was successful. So I believe that was
That's
the
all he been doing is
last.
hacking.
That was the
So my
last.
19 was way more efficient.
That was the last person we saw before it was going to be, I guess, the last opportunity B2K had to get signed to a label. So it was very rewarding. You know, it felt like,
I don't know how he made that.
yo, we did it. You know, we went to all these record companies. They didn't really know, you know, what to do with us. And I remember they had a conversation with us and our parents, and they let us know, like, yo, if, you know, when we go to New York, if we don't sign the deal, then, you know, we have to move on. You know what I'm saying? So they was like, okay. You know what I mean? We performed our hearts out, and I remember they wouldn't let us leave the room. Potty Anthony and Dave McPherson, you know, there was we signed the deal right there. So it was exciting.
Yeah, I get it. You want to watch a video, and I'm in your way. But if you're looking for a car, you might want to hang around a second. I've sold a lot of cars in 25 years doing one thing. I listen. So all you have to do is come in and talk to us. 752 new cars, 150 beautiful used cars. Whatever it is you need, I probably have it. Look, cars are commodities. I can get them. It's people I love. That's what fuels me. We listen to you. Maybe that's why I've always been your dealer. You just didn't know it.
So here you are growing up in this neighborhood, and you have a younger brother.
Yes.
Orion. Any other siblings?
Yep, I have two sisters, and on my dad's side, I have a brother and two sisters. I have a big family.
Okay. At what point did you decide, you know, I kind of want to do entertainment? Because you started doing commercials fairly early.
Yeah, really early on. If we talking origins, you know, the first time I had
Use the layup to
my
finish the
dance
layup.
recital was at 3.
Excellent
My mom
release.
was a young mother. She had me at 16. So, you know, kids raising kids. And she was a dancer at that time.
That shit was blocked.
Dancing and doing
hair. Oh, he ain't just body bag AD like that. AD got 5?
You know, a lot of people don't even understand why my hair looks the way it looks. I've been raised by queens and goddesses of hair. You know what I'm saying? So my hair is always going to look good.
You fried, I'm fried.
Yeah.
Your mom was basically experimenting on you, like trying out techniques like on your
No, my mom worked in the shop. My mom actually was a really successful hairstylist. You know, at one point in time, she was doing all of God's property hair when Kurt Franklin was, you know, at the height of gospel music.
I thought I could have blocked that.
Yeah, she's done a slew of many other.
I don't know how I did not block that joint. I jumped at the right time.
My grandma, this is a fun fact. My grandma did Stevie Wonder's hair. So yeah, and she went to school with Barry White.
Missed the ball.
So
actually, I followed him. He did.
Okay, so like the braids and everything.
Yeah, she did his hair before. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so here you are. You're growing up with a young mother in Inglewood, and you started getting into entertainment.
Right.
At what age?
I want to say I remember it was really young. My mom took me on an audition. I had to like film myself. I want to say I can remember as young as like maybe 7 or 8, something like that. Yeah, and then because I've always been in performing arts school, I used to go to this performing arts school. I literally was born for this. Music and entertainment I thought I was gonna be an athlete for like
Body bagging niggas back.
but the entertainment kind of took over. I started my first commercial. It was actually 2 commercials back to back because it took a little time for me to, I guess, adapt, and after I booked my first commercial, which was like a McDonald's commercial, then I got the national Pops commercial, Corn Pops commercial, and I want to say I was one of the first kids, with braids on TV. So yeah, I was doing commercials. I was acting first. Yes.
Okay, so you get a few commercials, and getting a national commercial is a pretty big deal.
Yeah,
That's a nice check.
Yeah, it was. It was. It was.
Right. Was that like the biggest check? Like you had seen up to that point was like a huge thing like that, or?
Well, I mean, it was different because it was residual. You know what I'm saying? So it was some more incremental. But my mom wasn't. We weren't the kind of people that we weren't very like money hungry. We weren't money driven. So things like that didn't really matter.
On the block.
I was
Go to work.
something I realized the other day about myself as a child entertainer
Deeper than that,
was that I was very willing. I was very willing. And I kind of just used that tool and willed all of the other things, after I established myself as an entertainer. So.
Well, boy bands are notorious for getting ripped off.
Yeah.
Like, I remember I interviewed Ricky Bell from New Edition, and he kind of broke down the whole story about how they had the #1 song and this whole tour, and they got home, and there was a check for $3.57.
Crazy.
For each member.
Crazy.
I don't know if this is the first tour or the second tour, the first album or second album, but you guys go on this huge tour, and you come home, and you get issued a check for $1.87. That was the first album?
That was the first album. And it was no better than the second album or the third album.
You hear the story over and over again because people are so obsessed with being stars and getting a shot that they don't worry about the finances, they don't worry about the deals, they don't understand the publishing, they don't understand masters, etc., etc.
I don't know if I would chalk it up to that, but I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
I think it's different, for everyone. Everyone is not just like, I want to be a star, so I don't care how much money I make. I don't think it's always like set up like that. But I hear what you're saying.
I remember Suge in an interview from jail said that most entertainers just want to be famous and pay their bills.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That is even a thing. I mean, I don't know. Different strokes for different folks, but I never seen it that way. I never seen it.
Right. I mean, by the time B2K broke up, were you rich at this point? Was the money right, or were the deals like, I should have, not signed this, like, kind of situation?
Well, I mean, what is your perspective of rich? You know what I'm saying? Because, to have a nice car and a nice home and stuff like that, yeah, I mean, yeah, I had my own first home when I was 16. So, if you call it rich, then yes, I've been rich my whole life. But I don't know if I would say that my business was as organized and as yeah, I guess the word would be organized.
Right, because
organized
you guys,
as it needed to be.
Like the first album, it went gold, platinum.
Yeah.
Platinum.
Yeah, platinum.
Second album went platinum.
Second album went platinum. First album, I think it was gold, but I want to say it went platinum because I have a black with a silver. I think they both went. I think they both went platinum. Yeah, the first B2K album did 1 million, and I think the second one did 1.5 or 1.2 or something like that.
All right, so you're talking between the album sales and the tours. You guys are generating tens of millions of dollars.
But you know
essentially.
You know
Right. So when I say, were you rich, meaning that did you have a fair share of that pie? You know, having a house is cool, having a nice car is cool, but hey, we're generating tens of millions.
Yeah.
Here I am, the lead singer. I should have a sizable chunk of that.
Yeah, I don't think the business was handled properly in that aspect. Yeah.
Okay. That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Bum 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 ended up going #1 on the Hot 100. So now you have a #1 song. Crazy.
Hey.
That's pretty much as a musician, that's essentially as big as you can get. Having a #1 song on the Hot 100.
Yes, if we're talking music business, yes.
The music business.
Yeah, so we're talking about the music business, yes, but you know.
Do you feel otherwise? You don't feel like that was your biggest, a huge accomplishment or your biggest accomplishment?
Well, no, I just mean, songs can mean different things for people, and now we live in a day and age where there is everyone understands business strategy. So when we speak about,
Oh, they got me off of this nigga. I got the nigga 4 or 5. Niggas been whacked out by now.
Great songs, but that just don't have the budget, and that just don't have the real support in order to be a #1 song. So I kind of view that differently now. I think the greatest song is the most impactful song. Sometimes that might not be a #1 record, but we can still play What's Going On by Marvin Gaye and feel something. So to me, and maybe I feel that way because I've had #1 records, and I've seen people that really don't, or well, let me say not that they don't, is they understand a type of formula in order to have a #1 song. It's like being a boxer, basically. You know what I mean? It's like or being in UFC. It's like the fight is so exciting because it's mixed martial arts. So somebody might get knocked out or somebody might get put in the headlock, but somebody's gonna win and someone's gonna lose.
Yeah. Well, but having a #1 song, what that does is that it sets up a career for you.
For sure.
For the rest of your life.
Yes, that's very special. Yes.
See what I'm saying? So
sure.
It may not be the song you love the most, but you could keep making money off that song decade after decade after decade.
It's true.
Everyone of a certain age range was listening to that song to death and wanted
Facts.
more. 20, 30 years later.
Facts. So thankful for the #1s I have.
Okay, so then
I can't get the check no more after that shit.
Yes.
If you were to say the biggest reason for that breakup, what would that
be? Management. Well, first of all, we were kids. You know what I'm saying? And the business aspect of the entertainment business wasn't really predominantly our focus. That's why you have management or a production company to kind of, work these issues out and make sure that you're being supported and the business is being held up properly. So, because that wasn't necessarily something that was super important to us, but that was important to our family and important to our business, I think that, that kind of thwarted, the opportunity to really move towards a different path. At that time, there was a lot of things going on, and it was kind of unfortunate, but I would say that the management separated us, and I actually remember it, because, and not to fast forward into the Millennium Tour, but one of the things that a lot of the fans were saying, was like, I waited 15 years for this, and it never really dawned on me as a solo artist moving forward within my own space
fire.
creatively, that we were kind of pulled apart. So, and that's why someone, I guess, would say that, or that's why someone could feel like they waited for so long. You know what I mean? So yeah, I would completely blame it on management at the time.
Yeah, bring that back. Got skinny and then just swoop. Could have been the N1.
Okay, was Birdman somehow involved in this?
No, I don't think so. But honestly, like, what do you expect? Wayne, Wayne was, doing whatever he was doing as an artist. You know what I'm saying? So, like, even though he was in charge of his business and he had, like, I'm an artist. You know what I'm saying? So there is a time, you know what I mean, for things. Unfortunately, he just didn't have the time at that time. So it was, I respect, but, I'm doing my thing. So that's what ended up happening.
They was fighting for putting IT on me. They was better with Wall.
That time also, so that was probably
and Tiger.
Bad coaching
And
adjustments.
Tiger, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was a lot of
Good coaching adjustments on ours.
But I don't even know that it was like a super attention-driven thing. You know what I'm saying? Like Wayne was
Spent a fucking whole block party on this.
Wayne in my if I could go back and remember in my mind, Wayne wasn't like a
With
boss.
the light is my line of defense.
Some people kind of get that.
Nigga probably got like 8 blocks.
That term, confused with like I work.
We got at least 4.
You know what I'm saying? Wayne wasn't like that. Wayne was he was an artist. It was like a haven for creative artists. Like Young Money. That's what Young Money was. What it was. You know what I'm saying? Becoming. At that time, like yo, you creative. We gonna make songs. So that's one of the reasons why, I went down to Miami, spent a lot of time with Wayne, and that was one of the reasons why I was so excited. And we cut a song, we did songs. So yeah, that was Wayne's personality. He wasn't like, you need to do this or you need to. He was very like, you could talk to him. You know what I'm saying? Very creative. So yeah, the reason why that didn't work out is because.
Well, what Phantom 5?
That was it.
As soon as that nigga missed.
So you leave Young Money, and then you sign with EMI next, or am I confusing?
No. Yeah, it was EMI. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You feed you, big dog.
So then you drop Illusion.
Yes.
As the next project.
Yep.
Okay. And that project, it didn't do the type of numbers that your previous projects did.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And you're how old at this time?
This was after 21, 25, 26, something like that.
Okay. So how did it feel to have this run where you're platinum, number one. Here you are at 25, you're a mature artist, you learn, you crafted your skill, you built up a fan base, and you're not getting these huge numbers.
Right.
How did that affect you? How did you look at it at that time?
Well, I didn't really view it as it being I guess the record industry standard.
My bad game.
Would be, I guess, like lesser than my other projects.
Pressure on that man.
I've never really viewed my creative art like that. I guess it was my lesson to really understand and learn more about the music business and more about the transitions and the things that were going on in reference to certain records that were getting supported and versus other records that were getting supported. This was like my growing up time. You know what I mean? In business. But I would like to say, that's like one of my favorite personal albums. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it didn't feel no kind of way. I felt like I felt like all of the projects. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna just keep working. Okay. There's some opportunity right here to become better. There's some opportunity right here Successes and failures are a part of living. You know what I'm saying? So.
All right, here we go. We have R&B royalty in the building. Omarion, welcome to Vlad TV.
Word up.
Hey man, congrats on just such an epic career. Going back, how many years has it been now since you touched down?
It will be 20 years, 2020.
20 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 20 years, 2020, man.
Yeah, that's rock and roll Hall of Fame territory that you're,
You did.
in right now.
You did.
Yeah. So when it's time, for the nominations that roll around over the next 5-10 years, B2K and Mario being part of that whole lineup, man. Congrats, man. Congrats. Well, this is our first time actually doing our interview. You've been on Vlad TV before, but it wasn't me that actually did the interview, so this is gonna be a little bit different.
For sure.
This is gonna be the real deal here. So you were actually born in Inglewood.
Yes, Inglewood, California.
Inglewood always up to no good.
Yeah.
The homie Mac 10 says.
You feel me?
I actually spent some time out in Inglewood. I used to stay out there, I was going back and forth. I was staying on Lime Street, with a friend of mine.
Oh, okay. You was there. You was in there then. You was online.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you was over there.
Lime Street. It wasn't really that crazy. I wouldn't say that it was there were shootouts or anything else like that. I mean, my windows got smashed, my car once, but I never really had any issues there. But
right. Well, it's
growing up. How was it?
Well, it's a very different place. You know what I'm saying? Especially from when I was growing up, because the gang culture was ever so prevalent. It started with cliques, and then everything developed in the gang. But Inglewood was a very special place for me. It is where I guess I would say, I really got the opportunity to develop my character as a young man. Back when gang culture was, I guess, something revered. Because I always looked at the gangsters and I always seen the organization. You know what I mean? Like the real fried gangsters, they always had a dope outfit. You know what I mean? Ben Davis, matching set, or you could go and something that I used to do that actually did in the group. I would go and get my name on my belt. You know what I'm saying? You would go to the swap meeting, you would get your name on your belt, or you would get the 3 letters of your clique. So Inglewood was a very special place for me growing up. I seen a lot of violence, no doubt. You know what I mean? Seen a couple of things I probably wish I wouldn't have saw, but it's a wonderful place. It's a wonderful place.
Right, because Inglewood's primarily a blood neighborhood.
Yep.
Okay.
Some
you
essays.
talk about you seen some things that you wish you didn't see. What was the worst thing that you saw?
Like a crime happened, somebody gets shot. You know what I mean? That was whoa. So, that was really, that was something that happened often, or that you would hear happening, or, I would be, we stayed in a 3-leveled apartment off of Hyde Park Market, and there used to be this place between Eucalyptus and Jupiter, and right in the middle of that was this place called Kids R Us, where all the kids used to go and have parties and stuff like that, and that's where a lot of the gangsters was. So yeah, it was a lot of violence in the hood, so to speak, that was witnessed.
Okay, you yourself, did you ever get mixed up in any of that?
Yeah, I think that not the violent aspect of it, but just really wanting to belong. You know what I mean? Like all of my homeboys, they had cliques. All of their older brothers was in gangs.
Body bagging niggas right back. Let's go. Get in your act, LBJ.
It was like a cutoff point.
Get in your bag.
It was like when cliques went from you're in a clique and basically you just rep. You know, you wear a certain color, you wear a certain rag. You know, you basically, if you have a problem with the other neighborhood, you know, you stand up for that. So that's how I always looked at it. I looked at it as, you know, this is how you earn respect. So I dealt with it in that aspect. And shout out to my best friend, Anthony Martinez, aka BD, who you know, is serving life. He comes from Inglewood. You know what I mean? So a lot of my friends didn't necessarily get the opportunity to make it out. But yeah, Inglewood's a very special place to me. Yeah.
So what happened to your house? Because you had a 30,000 square foot house.
Yeah, that me and my dad built. You know, we built that house ourselves, brick by brick. That house was sold to a guy named John, who came in and bought the house. And I moved to South Carolina, back to South Carolina for a little while. And now it's been resold. I don't go back that way.
Well, why didn't you just, you know, once you started reaching the problems of trying to rent something, why not just buy a condo or buy a house or something like that at that point?
You can't. Black Homeowners Association, HOA, they were worse than renting. I go over there and want to buy something, and the first thing they say is, we don't want him there. Hell, they wouldn't give Tim Tebow a place.
Nigga big as him.
Right? I ended up getting a place in that building that Tim Tebow didn't. And Tim Tebow just loves Jesus. Right? And I couldn't get a place, and I'm a convicted felon. So the Homeowners Association, even now, where I live in Florida, I had to go over to the HOA and beg for mercy 18 years later. Right? It's nothing about a DWI. It's about what happened 18 years ago. So, look, when I speak to people, my number one message for them is the consequences, right? It's the ripple effect. It's just not, you might be bad, you might be tougher than I think, you might be able to go to prison and survive. Yeah, but can your parents do it? Can your girlfriend do it? Can your wife do it? Can your kid do it? Right? Can when you get out, can you get a job? Can you get a place to live? It ain't just about prison, right? So when people come out, I'm not asking you to have any compassion for me. I'm not asking it. I'm not asking. I know what I've done. I know I messed up. I know it. Trust me. I'm sorry. But for other people that are going through it, you know.
They don't use their timeouts when I'm winning. Like, I don't know why.
Let me just tell you.
I be tired of shit.
Told me this story. He used to say that a guy was in a hole and he couldn't get up. He looked at a priest that walked by and said, Father, can you help me out? And the father said, say 7 Hail Marys. And he kept walking and he saw a doctor. And he said, Doc, can you help me out? And the doctor threw him down a prescription. He's still in the hole. He saw his best friend. And he said,
fuck out of here.
best friend, can you help me out? Best friend
He would have
jumped
whacked out
down in the
with
hole
fucking
with him. And he was like,
25 if he stayed on.
we both stuck. He says, because I've been here before.
Can't stick it.
And I know a way out. Right? So
Yeah,
that's what you
they
need.
suffering
You need a
much.
good support system that
So Isaiah Thomas like too
feel like
little.
a man if you came out of prison and you had money and resources and stuff to go on and you couldn't find a place to live and you had to move in with your sister, then you're a burden, right? And we look at each other like if you're a convicted felon, like that's what defines you for the rest of your life. You know, I'm forever helping people like that. You know, hey man, I might know a place, I might can help you, I might can get you into some place, and that's a lot of my work. I don't go on TV and say, this is my work, this is what I'm doing. You know, it's what happens.
Well, I guess you're involved in a rehab facility?
Yes. It's called Futures Recovery Healthcare. We have 10 acres down in Florida. We have everything from detox to outpatient. It's a beautiful facility. We got 13 therapists, psychiatrists, psychologists. We got 24-hour nursing. We got doctors on staff. But what makes us different, we have 3 different programs. One for core, which is just everybody coming in. And then we have one for people that don't want to be seen, high-profile people. And then we have another one for rebound, where I spend a lot of my time. I spend a lot of my time at all 3 of them. And we teach through a 12-step program with the same stuff, the same classes and the groups. But we go out every day for 3 or 4 hours, and we do skydiving, scuba diving, snorkeling, wave running, paddleboarding, basketball, golf, museums, butterfly world, monkey jungle. We do things to break self-esteem, break down barriers, overcome anxiety. Because if I'm throwing you out of an airplane at 13,000 feet and skydiving, I'm going to see something different than me and you sitting across from each other in this interview, right? And our therapists are there with us, so they get to see when you're scared, because depression comes from not knowing, and not knowing is what brings on fear and anxiety, and I'm so proud to be a part of Futures, and that's what keeps me going. I've been in this for 4 years, and I'm safe there. When I leave your show, I go back there, and I'm safe because I'm around people who don't judge, because if we got time to judge, we don't have time to love, and we might be cracked, but we not broken, and we just working our own code. And when you leave our program at Futures, Vlad, I talk to you every single day. We got a video messaging app, and I get a chance to see if you got on sunglasses.
This is my rebound, but it's cool.
Wrong. It's not a phone call. We get a chance to stay in contact, and that's where my life is. If your name doesn't say Futures and recovery healthcare behind it when the phone rings, rebound, I'm most likely not going to pick it up, even for my own family. That's my life now. That's where I'm at. Through the grace of God, I've been able to help people beat addiction, and through the grace of God, we at Futures are very good at that. And after this interview, this is therapy, right? This is therapy. A lot of stuff that you brought up to me, I didn't remember. I remember all the stuff of February 14th. Thanks for bringing that up and bringing that out. It's not like I don't think about it every time, man. When I leave here, I get in this car, doing this interview. It's nothing that I'm proud of. Or not you, man. Any of these interviews. My kids don't like it. They don't like it when they got to go to school and I got to rehash stuff. But this is what I do to release the stigma, right? If you have cancer, you get treatment. If you get chemo. If you have cancer, if you have an addiction, you get treatment. And I'm trying to release the stigma of it. I know I've messed up in a lot of things. I'm just trying to do the right thing. I'm not doing it to make you happy or the world happy. I'm doing it so I can put my own oxygen mask on now, so I can help others and to get my family back and get me back to where I need to be. And I've been doing this for 4 years, and I'm passionate about helping people get better, and we're damn good at it. And look, you don't have to come to our place. They'll call 855, right? They'll give you the 502 HOPE. Call me, Rebound Recovery Healthcare. And I tell you, if you say, hey man, you know what? I'm a Knick fan. I never did like you. I say, man, let me help you get to another place. But go get it, because life is so much better. It is. It's just so much better when you live on the street.
Yeah, I interviewed Shaka Senghor. I don't know if you're familiar with him. He was a guy from Detroit who killed somebody in a drug deal gone bad after he had just been shot 6 months earlier. So he was paranoid. He was carrying a gun around because he didn't want to get shot again, and then the situation happened. He ended up killing the person.
It was after that moment where you realize that anybody can die.
Catch it,
man. No matter how tough you think you are, how much money you making, how much you think you the man. Like, anybody can get killed out here on any given day. And like that shifted everything inside of me, And so from that moment forward, I never left the house without a gun. I had a gun even when I was in the house. Like, that's just what I was on. And I started making it up in my mind that if I find myself in a conflict, I'm shooting first. And 16 months later, that's what happened.
And he did, I think, like 25 years in prison, and he wrote a book called Righting My Wrongs, which ended up being a New York Times bestseller, and Oprah had him on his show, after the TV shows with Oprah. And he said something very interesting. He said that you are not defined by your worst moment. And he killed somebody. He understands the repercussions of it and so forth, but just because you had one bad moment in your life does not make you a bad person. And I think that when you look at prisons and the people who are in prisons, most of them are there because of a split-second decision, pride, anger, testosterone, whatever.
Addiction. 80% of the people in prison are there for addiction. Don't need to be there. I needed to be there, but addiction, right? Yeah.
You know, some people might say Jason Williams got 27 months for ending a man's life because he had millions of dollars. If it was Jason Williams, the bus driver, he might have gotten 20 years.
Well, it might have been Jason Williams, the bus driver. It wouldn't have been at this point. It wouldn't have been. It would have been a civil case, right? It might have been blown up like this, but regardless of it was me. And one day is a lot. And 27 months is what I got for the cover up. It was an accident. I had an accident, and then I tried to do something as a cowardly act, and that's what I went to prison for. I had a trial by jury.
You got out in 2012. Is that accurate? Is that after the Rikers?
That sounds about accurate, yes.
Okay. How did it feel? I mean, so here you are, you're going in as a millionaire, and that doesn't really matter in prison. I mean, yeah, your commissary might have a few more snacks, but that's about it.
Well, look, it's who you are, right? Because the difference in jail, Vlad, is that when you're in jail, it's 364 days or less. So you're going to absolutely be who you can be because you know you're going to be transferred or you're going to get out of there. When you're in prison, that's who you are, right? You're going to be there because you're going to do 365 days or to the rest of your life. So it's... There's nothing easy about it. There's nothing easy about it. Nobody's ever come up to me and said, yo, Jay, give me your money, or Jay, give me this. You know, I participated in everything there. I was on the basket. I did things. I carried myself the correct way there. I understand I'm no boss. You know, but nobody came up to me and said, Jay, give me money, give me noodles, give me cigarettes. They said, Jay, can you help me when I get out of here? He says, you know, can you help me get a job? And that's what, if you give a man a job, you give him self-respect. And he can go back to his family. Nobody ever asked me for anything in jail but for self-respect. And that was a job.
So you walk out in 2012. How did it feel to walk outside those walls and see the outside for the first time? And, you know, really, I mean, 27 months. I mean, like 2.5. Sorry. Yeah, almost 3 years, really.
Charles Oakley picked me up with some friends, and we went to get Italian dinner because there's no cheese or tomatoes in prison. I ate so much cheese that I got blocked up, had to go to emergency room.
Are you serious?
That's a true story. Yeah.
Well, you actually led the league in offensive rebounds that year, as well as, like, I mean, I'm looking through the list here, offensive rebound percentage, top 5 in total rebounds, rebounds per game, total rebound percentage, and offensive ratings. And you made it to the All-Star game that year.
Yes. In New York.
Yep. That was in 1998.
Yep.
And you actually made it to 2 different playoffs with the Nets. So you were actually building up to be a pretty major player.
Thank you.
And I guess you got a $90 million contract?
Yep.
What year was that? Did you get that contract?
97, 98.
Okay. How did it feel to go from this,
24 seconds
this
left
kind
in the
of
fourth
crazy
quarter.
background where your parents are struggling and, you know, all this kind of violence and everything is happening, and now you're being presented with $90 million, multi-generational wealth. How did you take that?
I remember doing a lot of good for a lot of people. I remember donating to a lot of diseases. I remember giving St. John's $2.1 million. I asked at a dinner who gave the most to any university. somebody said Steve Smith for $2 million. I said, well, I'm going to give 2.1. I remember doing a lot of good with it. I remember building a big house for all my family to come live in and my close friends and family to come in on the weekends. But I also remember thinking that you're invincible and thinking that you got the world figured out. And people coming to tell me, say, hey, Jay, that's not your money anyway. That's God's money, and you got to be a good steward of it. And, I was feeling pretty damn good about myself. I'm glad.
Okay, so here you are, huge contract. You're with a team that's making the playoffs. You're an all-star now. And then April 1999, you were playing a game with Stephon Marbury as your teammate, and you guys, I guess, collide mid-game.
Yeah, I was going in for offensive rebound, and Dikembe Mutombo knocked Stephon Marbury back into my leg while it was stiff like this. Right before I planted, it broke my leg. It broke my tibia, my fibula, and my kneecap.
When that break happened, did you realize how bad it was right then and there?
Yeah, once I heard the snap twice, I said this is going to be pretty bad. I remember the ambulance ride over. Every time we hit a bump, I remember Danny Aiello, the great actor. He was in the car with me in the ambulance, and so was my coach from college, Mark Rutledge. And I remember every bump we hit, it was immense pain. And that wasn't a sprain. That wasn't like a break in the foot. That was a lot of things going wrong. And then after the thing on, I remember they stopped for like lunch during my surgery to come back.
Come on, Shaq, man. You know what I'm trying to say.
Dr. Russell Warren at the hospital special surgery. So I knew it was pretty bad. I know if anything, it was going to be a long time before I played again.
Plus,
right. I guess they put a metal plate, 5 screws were put into your leg. And I mean, you came back on the team, but you never played again, right?
No, I tried to make a comeback. It just never really did work out, and then I ended up breaking my other foot for overcompensating. And they got 2 screws in my metatarsals on both sides of my foot right now.
Okay. So then you announced your retirement June 28th, 2000. 32 years old, 9 seasons in. And I guess the way the NBA works with that $90 million contract, they had to pay you that whole contract?
Yes, the insurance company has to pay Lloyd's of London. Oh,
okay, I see what it is. So I see what it is. So the NBA team basically signs a contract for $90 million, and then they pay the insurance company just in case. And in this case, boom, the insurance company pays. So you got $90 million for playing 1 season, basically?
Yeah, basically, if you want to put it that way, all the things I had to work up to get to that. I played a lot of basketball.
Why do I feel so powerful? I haven't hit the gym in months. Maybe it's those self-help books.
You retired after 16 years of professional basketball. 15? Sorry. 14 years in the NBA. You played for 10 teams during that time.
Well, 8 teams, and I think 2 teams twice.
Yeah. I mean, quite a journey.
It was a roller coaster, man. And I think, would I like to stay on a 1 team or 2 teams and rode it out there? But my journey was never a normal journey. You know what I mean? I had to scratch and claw to get in this league, and I think
and to stay in this league.
Right. The 1-year auditions. Every year I was on an audition, not only for the team I was playing, but other suitors. And I think that my reputation sometimes preceded me and gave me a certain reputation. But if you ask anyone I've ever played with, from the stars to the role players, that I was a solid teammate and someone they would always go to war with. And I bounced around, but it was, like I said, for someone who wasn't supposed to make it, and to be able to play that long and do what I did and make the money I made, like, to me, that shit was a win.
Well, I had Jalen Rose on my show recently. And you started playing, I guess, the year after Michael Jordan retired.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys never got to play against each other. So I had him give me his top 10 NBA players of all time. I'm going to read you his list.
Okay.
From 1 to 10.
Okay.
Michael Jordan, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Bill Russell, Magic Johnson, LeBron James, Larry Bird, Kobe, Wilt, Shaq, and Oscar.
He put Kobe at what, 7 or 8?
Kobe's 6. Oh, sorry, 7.
Kobe.
He actually put Bird over Kobe, which is what kind of...
Kobe gave him 81.
Yeah, I know.
No, Rose is my guy, though.
Did you ever see that commercial?
Yeah.
I want 81 olives.
I don't... To me, obviously, I miss Jordan. But to me, there's no... Jordan is 1 and Kobe's 1B. And that's no knock on LeBron. I think LeBron is right there. But just the killer instinct Kobe had, the way he attacked the game, and it's the same thing that made Kobe great that people knock LeBron for, but LeBron is a different type of player. LeBron is the right play type player. Like, if he has to pass for the last shot, he's willing to do that for the betterment of the team.
Hey, Michael Jordan's not passing nothing.
Kobe's not passing nothing.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's a situation where, like, I would rather ride, like, we're going to sink or swim with our best player, with the ball in his hands. And that's the kind of mentality that, like, I like, even though I wasn't that type of player. Like, I wanted to play with someone like that. So, like I said, to me, it's MJ, Kobe, LeBron, Magic, Shaq, Kareem, Larry. What is that, 7?
Bill Russell on your list?
Yeah, Bill Russell's like 9. Wilt's 10. Who can I be? 8.
Yeah, we need one more.
Who's 8? I don't know. You forget about, like, the... Damn. Maybe an Oscar. I don't like to I don't ever like to compare eras or disrespect eras, but it just seems from, knowing basketball and watching basketball, the reason why I put Wilt a little further down the list and Bill Russell a little further down the list is because their average players back then were not good players.
Yeah,
not
like today.
Yeah, like the average players were not good players. Like,
yeah, they also weren't as tall back then.
Smaller, and these guys are just big, dominant guys. That's why I always give the nod to current players, because they're playing, like, the game is so far advanced.
Well, it's international now. Now they're picking up guys in remote parts of Africa and
7
weird
foot,
European
they can
countries.
run and jump and shoot.
China, there were no Chinese players.
Back in the day, guys could only dribble with one hand. You see that magical picture of Bob Cousy dribbling through everyone with just his right hand.
Guys would have day jobs.
Yeah, it was a different time.
They would go play the NBA on the weekends and then go back to their post office job, and then.
So I think you always got to credit the older players for the continuing to help grow the game. But I think in the old time, and this is not to, obviously I am who I am. I'm a role player, and not to discredit any of the greats, but I don't put any of the older greats in front of the younger, so to speak, greats, is because the competition was way different when they played. So that's why I get, like, the back top 10 is where you'll catch a Wilt or a Bill Russell for me, because Wilt wasn't going against Patrick Ewing and David Robinson and Tim Duncan and Rick Smits and Mark, like, Eaton, like, big-ass guys that are as big as them, like Shaq was, so it was just more of to me, it was the average player, and the levels were just different to me.
Sigue aquí tomándose otro trago. Mientras estaba buscando el sueño en la música, había que buscar para comer también. Y nada, comencé a trabajar en la construcción. Luego de eso, comenzamos a vender hot dog, hamburguesa, batido, todo lo que fuera. Esos principios que llevo todavía es recordar de dónde vengo Dios no quiera, pues, pero un día las cosas no te funcionen bien en la música y tienes que volver a la vida normal, como se dice, uno lo hace sin problema. Y ahora a lo puro y sin disimulo, olvidando la pena en la piel. Ahora hace lo que quiere, cuando quiere y si no quiere, si eres otro que se jode también. El DJ pone la música, ella baila como nunca. Bueno, crecer en Panamá fue algo bien lindo. Mis padres son pastores y me enseñaron